So hi guys and welcome to another video. I'm a bit tired today, but it's fine. So let's get started.
You keep it short so you can go to bed earlier. So today we're going to talk about text and paragraphs. So in the previous ones we always talk about a lot of math and logic stuff. But in the coding there are also text and paragraphs. You need to write down some text, you need to write down, if you want to say something, that's how you write down those things. So in the coding language, we call text string. So string is a type like number, like integer and float we learned last time. So string is another type. Basically it means text. So there's a few ways to define a text in Python. It's very similar in other languages.
Like
Usually,
JavaScript?
yeah, it's actually pretty similar to JavaScript. Basically, in most languages, you use quotes to define a string. So whatever you want to say, you put two quotes around the text you want to say.
Okay, so how about like in the JavaScript?
It's the same. In JavaScript, there are single quotes and double quotes. Both can define a string, which is text. So like here you can see, single quote, this is string. Double quote, this is also string. It's the same, okay? In some language, they are different, but that's later more advanced things we can talk about. But for now, you just need to think strings about quotes. And there are very long strings, like multi-line paragraphs. You use 3 quotes, and then whatever inside those 3 quotes will be a big string. So in this kind of string, the spaces inside the quotes will be kept as well. So for example, the beginning spaces, that will be kept each line here as a big paragraph. So single quotes, also fine. Yeah, makes sense, easy. So string has its operations as well. Like numbers, you can do plus, minus stuff.
So
In string, what do you think the plus will do?
oh, this plus, like
So-
plus the number, like what number plus like what?
No, this is string, so the plus has nothing to do with numbers. They're separate strings,
Oh,
but
so
when you
what?
plus them together, it becomes no one string basically. Basically just links everything together. That's what the plus does. You say? Yeah?
Yeah.
So in occasions you want to link several paragraphs together, they use the plus. Yeah? In different language there might be different operators. It's maybe not plus, maybe a dot, maybe something.
Like
But in
slash.
Python and JavaScript, they are both plus. Okay? So this is another example of the operations. The keyword here is in. So is ABC in, this is ABC. What do you think this will return? It's like normal English. Is ABC?
Just gonna do ABC.
No, if I ask you, is ABC in this ABC, what will you say?
True.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a way to check whether some of the string, one string, is in another string. So in this case, it's not the string ABC, but the string is ABC, is space ABC. So again, you can see in the second string, it says this is ABC, so is ABC is there, right? So the first string is in the second string, that makes it true. Make sense? So how about this?
False.
Yeah, easy, right? So those are the most useful string operations, basically. Okay? There are a lot more string operations we'll talk about later. But for the moment, you just need to know string. It's about text. It's about paragraph. It can be linked together with plus. It can be, check whether something is in something. Yeah. So talking about paragraph and string, we also need to talk about code blocks, because string, like the 3 quotes, makes a long paragraph a block of things. But in the code, that's also something we need to know about. So if space in the front of each line is the same,
E plus call.
basically, if in Python they use spaces or tabs, you don't need to know about that, but they use like space-like things to determine a code block. What code block means,
Like the return button.
like they are together. So, for example, in this example, the if statement here is to check whether space is in this big string, which it is, right? So it goes into the next block. If they all have the same space, means they are all part of this if block. So what this means is, so since this is true, all these lines will run after the if. Yeah. Now, once the space in front of the line is different, so for example here, the space, there's no space between in front of the line, right? So this is another block. These are not part of this if block anymore. So here we also learned something called comments. You can see those hash signs before. So that means all those are comments. Comments means they don't do anything. You can write anything to your future self or someone else reading your code to know that what this code is doing. It's like an introduction to your code. It doesn't do anything. It's just for whoever read the code to read the comment and know something about it. So comments is a very good habit. When you write something, you tend to let the reader know what you're writing. If you think you're writing something very complex and it's hard to understand, then use comments to tell the future yourself or the reader to know what you are doing. Okay? So this is another if else if. Since this is a very interesting one. You can see this is like an empty string in other languages. Is that true? Is that true?
False.
It's actually true, because
I know.
empty string is part of any string.
Oh yeah, it's part of any language too.
Right? So it's empty string, it's part of anything. So in what I'm trying to say is, in other languages, they might not use spaces. They can use curly brackets to determine a code block, okay? So it can be not just curly brackets. It can be like do something something and then and. So the do and and to wrap the blocks. There are different ways to do things, but basically whatever we use to wrap a piece of code, multiple line, like you said, with enter you have multiple lines. This is how a code block does, because they are together, which we mark down as a block. Okay. So in the example, where the else if block run, so this if is already true, right? Just review the if else knowledge. So if space in, which is true.
Yeah.
So what will be the output of this whole block?
So go like we plus call. These lines together also as a code block. They will line by line until the block ends. So like.
So this whole block will run, right? So after that, there's a comment. Will this comment do anything?
No.
And then after comments is else if. Will this do something?
Else.
Are you sure?
Wait, no.
Why?
Well, it is not really called. It's just basically also comments.
No, those are
Sort of.
those are actually strings.
They're just like saying strings.
But the reason why they don't run is not because this is true. It's because in if else, when the first block runs, the other blocks doesn't run.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first if is already true, and this already ran.
Mhm.
Nothing after with the if else will run.
Mhm.
Make sense?
Mhm.
I think you can go to bed now.
Mhm. Okay.
That's all for the paragraph and text.
So bye, guys.
So in the next episode, we'll learn something about the naming. Are you good at naming things?
Not very good.
Not very good. But we need to give stuff names.
Okay.
So next time we talk about naming things. Okay. See you next time. Bye.